So Sonic Racing Crossworlds finally had its open network test recently, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, more than I honestly expected to. So I wanted to just quickly talk about my thoughts on the game so far, the good and the bad, and how it's changed my impression of the game. So I've played a few SEGA racing games before, not just Sonic ones, but ones like, Outrun, SEGA Rally, Initial D. They're all very good. I'd highly recommend to anyone. I feel like SEGA needs to, hopefully with their initiative to push back their IPs with Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, I really hope they start making some more of these racing games again, because they're really good. They're all really good, and I think that it's not. I think it shouldn't be just Sonic Riders, Sonic All Stars. SEGA needs to probably start making these games again, just to reach a wider audience again, because they really are like the kings of some of the arcade racing games. And hearing that the developers were working on this game, it gave me a lot of confidence in it. But the fact that is a lot of the marketing was playing on a super slow speed with the static camera. Well, everyone was saying, like, not everyone, a lot of people were saying that the closed network test was really fun. It's just seeing the footage that SEGA was putting out. It's a similar thing to Frontiers, where the first look we got of it was so boring that it made like the game not look as good as I thought it was. I enjoyed Frontiers quite a bit. So same thing there. Most people who were actually good at Sonic started playing the game. It made the game seem way, way better than it seemed at first. And especially since it's the first Sonic racing game since Team Sonic Racing, which is, I don't think it's horrible. It's fine, but it's a massive step down from something like All Stars Racing Transformed and Sonic Riders. So it's just kind of, just the trepidation. So same again with Frontiers. It was going from Forces to Frontiers. I was like, okay, do we really wait this long just for another whatever game? But thankfully, with this beta, I actually enjoyed it, like I said, a lot. It was very fun. I very much felt like in the style of other SEGA arcade racers. Not exactly that it was realistic, I guess, but it's not like a Mario Kart clone. You can't. I'd recommend not pumping the gas all the time, which in a lot of my footage I kept doing because I couldn't get in my head to do that. Because I think what's also part of it is that unlike the previous All Stars game and Team Sonic Racing, the game does not use the right trigger to accelerate the car. You're using X or A. So I do hope that in the full game they let you change that, because I kind of want to change it. Because I'd be fine with it, but then when I learned that you can still do they move tricks to the left stick in this game, which is fine, but you can also still do it with the right stick. Now, I tried to do it so I'd be able to move my car while I was doing a trick, but I don't like suddenly switching to the claw grip to suddenly shoot tricks. So I hope that SEGA allows to change the controls or not, just find a way to do it. Something else I was really excited for in this game was the Extreme Gear coming back. I love the first Riders game. It is my favorite Sonic racing game, although Transform does get pretty close, but Riders just has that feel to it. I grew up with Zero Gravity. It's not as good as Riders 1, but I enjoyed it a lot. I still do enjoy it, especially for the story, which is weird to say, about a racing game, but I think but the first two Sonic Riders games have really nice stories. I just really enjoy them and the vibes they have. I love the Babylon Rogues, so having them finally back in the game was really exciting. Especially when they came back in IDW, I was so happy during the Metavirus. Otherwise, general gameplay, I thought the items were mostly balanced well. There's some concerns I have, which I'll get into later, where sometimes it feels a little too oppressive, but that also might be fixed with no further tinkering with the gadgets and stuff. The courses were mostly pretty fun. I did not dislike a single one, but something like, everyone's talking about Apatos with the monster truck gadget. It was super fun, but I think it's a little too tight quarters. Sometimes on courses you'll get stuck. In the Wonder Museum, I got stuck on the Tornado's wing once. Or in Apatos, if you crash into those hallways, you'll be sent to not the hallways, the pillars. You'll be sent to the sides, kind of. You have to kind of struggle to reorganize yourself before you can fall too far behind. I got into my complaints way early, actually. No, I'll just finish out my complaints so I can just do the positives, and I guess I'll finish my point with the item balance. The fact is that there's a lot of hard lock-on items in this game. There's the goo, the weight, rocket punches you can avoid, but they lock on pretty easily. The King Boom Boo, the spinner. There's a lot of items that lock onto you that are pretty hard to avoid. I think, while there's definitely ways to avoid them, like for the spinner and the rocket punches, you can go on the... I'm not sure if the spinner does this. I don't think it does, but for the rocket punches, you can avoid them by going off the ramps or just jumping in the air, which I do like. But sometimes with the goo in the way, it feels like it hurts you too much, which of course there is also the gadget that slows you down less, but I feel like as it is right now, you slow down just a little too much. I'm not sure if that's because I mostly play it on Extreme Gear. That might be because Extreme Gear might just have less power, which might affect that. But I think that's something that could be tuned. What I also thought was, so you have, when those kinds of items, like the portal ones, the goo and the weight, and not King Boom Boo, but when they appear on you, there's like a portal that shows up, and you're not really certain what's going to hit you. If it's going to be the goo, or it's going to be the weight. Now, on one hand, it did make it really tense, but on the other hand, it was kind of a little frustrating that I wasn't sure on whether I should use my item immediately before it gets taken away from me, or if I could hold on to it and try and gain speed, like with the goo. So I hope that maybe there's like some way to let the player know what they're about to get hit with. This is more on a completely different train of thought, but a big thing about Team Sonic Racing, I think I remember people saying a lot, was how much the characters talk to each other. They talk a lot in that game. Now, I'm not sure if that's because mostly I usually play Team Sonic Racing in a group of 4. So I don't know if it's because that made it feel more repetitive, but the characters do talk a pretty good amount of the time. But in this game, I was lucky in a Grand Prix, to hear one interaction with another character. And online, barely ever did I hear one. I don't think I ever heard one. My friend was the one who heard it. And in Grand Prix, I was mostly hearing my rival talk, which I do like that the rival talk, like say like their little lines, but I think there needs to be not as much as TSR, but there needs to be some more interactions in the game. Like when I hit Zaz when I'm playing as Sonic, I'd like to hear it more often than maybe once. I think maybe on camera. I'm not sure how many interactions I even was able to catch while I was recording. I caught one with Jet on towards Cream at the end of Water Palace. So that's something I think they should increase. It's kind of like, I really like the fact that characters interact with each other on the track. It's fun. And I'd like to be able to actually hear all of them myself instead of praying that I get like the once in a blue moon ones. And that leads to the DLC voices. For some characters, I can understand. Like SpongeBob. Who else is... Oh yeah, I guess the Avatar characters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can understand why they'll be voiceless because there are other companies, although it is disappointing there's not even grunts. I don't know, it just makes it feel like incomplete. But for the SEGA characters, I know that RGG and Atlas are technically different companies within Atlas. But like, man, not even grunts. I mean, it's kind of funny that Joker speaks in Persona 5 like noises. Like the cut-in is his come on. And but Ichiban doesn't have anything, it seems like. That'll feel even more weird. At least Joker has like noises. Miku, if Miku didn't have a voice, I would be very sad. So I'm very glad that at least Miku has voices. But then it's gonna be weird if they do add Sonic characters as free, like Tangle or Whisper, which I'm pretty sure they're adding. I understand they haven't really been casted yet, but it'll be weird to have them not talk at all. The Werehog, if it's still just the one jump grunt, that's I don't understand that. I know they don't want to, like, obviously they don't have to hire Jason Griffith again, or like spend the extra money for Roger. You're telling me they couldn't use like several reused jump noises from Unleashed? That's where I'm a little confused about. The Prime characters, I don't know what they're gonna do. If they're gonna be reused lines for Tails, Amy, and Knuckles, or if they're gonna be voiceless. I do kind of hope that they reuse lines so they don't feel empty. And then network issues. So for the most part, when you're in a match, it's pretty smooth sailing. You don't actually feel any disconnect. But there's some points where, when you finish a race, I could have sworn I was in second, but then the game was like, oh yeah, you were in first, or vice versa. Or I'll hit someone on my screen, and then on their screen, and I didn't hit them at all. Or there'd be two people on, two of the same person in the lobby, like my friend. He was playing, I forget who he switched to, it might have been Zaz, but he was playing Omega before that, and there was two of him. There's an Omega version of him, and I think the Zaz in the lobby, or it might have been Jet, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I was like, that was weird. And then sometimes there was, I'm not sure what caused it, there would be some disconnect issues in the game when you're going into a race or into the lobby, which is kind of frustrating. I hope they touch on that better, because really during the matches, it's mostly smooth sailing. I didn't really notice any hiccups on the like networking like I would in like a first-person shooter or something, which I'm kind of surprised by. But I guess my little complaint, which I'll segue to the positives on after, is the writing. The writing I think is mostly pretty good for the interactions and stuff, but it's, everyone's been talking on Twitter. Amy, man, what did they do to you? I don't even hate modern Amy as much as some people do, though I do prefer, for the most part, 2000s Amy. But she's so dry in this game. I don't know if it's the voice direction. I feel like it's partially the voice direction and partially just the lines, but I don't know what to make of it. It's just really weird. She's so dry, boring, keep things civil. That's not Amy. I know people wanted Amy to change because they thought she was too stalkerish, but you have to admit this is too far, right? It's getting to a point where it's kind of ridiculous. But for the most part, I think a lot of characters who are written very well. I'm surprised. I don't really care about Zaz being in this game, but a lot of his interactions are pretty good. I actually find some of them funny or just cool. Silver, Bryce Prappenbook is finally getting actual good lines for Silver to voice other than TSR's Abomination or just 2 lines in Sonic Generations' remaster. So I'm very glad he finally gets to actually have some experience with Silver, and he sounds a lot better in this game.
But no Sonic is going to beat me today, metal or otherwise.
Otherwise, some of the voice direction again is still just kind of off with the English cast in general. I think sometimes Rogers sounds good and sometimes he just sounds whatever. Same with Kirk Thorin, which I'm kind of sad about because I thought Kirk Thorin sounded really good in Shadow Generations. So to see it kind of fluctuate a little bit is a little sad. But otherwise, I think everyone sounds pretty good. Most of the lines are written pretty well. Especially, I'm very excited for some of the ones I've seen for Sage. That's what I'm excited about. But overall, yeah, I like that they're having so many interactions. It's really cool to see someone like SBO interact with Blaze or Blaze interact with Zavok. It's just something that I really do enjoy. It's a very good positive about this game. And I'll go into the music now. The music, I remember people, when the closed network test was out, everyone's like, the music was horrible. It's another, it's Abomination for a Sonic soundtrack. I didn't think it was that bad. It sounded kind of unfinished, but now that they're all, it seems like these music tracks are all done. I love a lot of the music of this game. Wonder Museum, I know it's not, and Water Palace, I know it's not back-to-back. I think back-to-back is a lot better of just a establishing track. But I don't know, I kind of really love Water Palace's new theme. The Dragon Road remix is amazing. Apatow sounds kind of funky, but you know what? I can vibe with it. It's only for a minute, so it's fine. Mystic Jungle I like. The Sand Road remix, exceptional. I love it a lot. Dinosaur Jungle, I like it. I do really miss Wicked Wild. Sonic and the Secret Rings was the first Sonic game I own. It's the one I played the most. I don't think I even realized who Eggman was when I was playing Secret Rings for the first time. So Wicked Wild not being there was sad, but the fact that Sonic mentions Shara, it made me happy, okay? It made me really happy, so I'm fine with it. Holoska, again with the more Unleashed references. The game has a lot of Unleashed stuff in it. Holoska looks really nice, and the music is really good. So let's go into the visuals. Overall, I think the game mostly looks pretty good. There's some times where I noticed this on I think it's called Magma Planet. The game kind of starts looking washed out. I'm not sure if that's a setting I might have since I'm playing on PC, but the games sometimes look really vibrant and sometimes it's really diluted. Everything has a gray filter over it, and I'm not sure why. But for the most part, in things like Water Palace, it looks nice. Although I looked at some screenshots from the closed network test, I thought it looked kind of better there. Wonder Museum looks great. I like Sand Road. Mystic Jungle, I like the look of that too. I'm trying to think of the ones I haven't mentioned yet. Oh, East Stadium. I like East Stadium. That's a good looking map. I also just enjoy playing on it. Although when I miss the shortcut due to someone throwing an item at me, gets me tilted. So I guess, what else can I talk about? Oh yes, the boards. Overall, I really this is back to general gameplay, but I don't know, I just really vibe with it. Even with items or no items, the general gameplay is great. It's just, I shouldn't have doubted these guys, man. The Sega Racing devs usually know what they're going for. The cars, I can't really say anything concrete about the cars, because if you look at my player stats, I was mostly playing with the extreme gear. So I don't really have anything. They felt good for the few the times I played with them. I played it mostly in single player, but the extreme gear felt really good. Again, just have to ease off the gas on some of the turns. I really enjoy like having to emphasize the drift. That was very Sega arcade racing like feeling. It feels like you have a reason to pick all of the different cars, because especially I know I was playing the speed car, my handling, I was really bad handling that. So that was just I like the incentivization, the gadgets. I really do like the gadget system. It makes you want to. I'll say, okay, very weird segue, but in Mario Kart 8, I'm not the biggest fan of the customization in that game. So it's weird to say that I like Crossworlds, but I think it's because they do two different things and they're put in the game different ways. In Mario Kart 8, I don't hate it, just to be clear. There's some parts where I like it and cool, but like you have to scroll through every single of the cart. You have to find the parts you want. I know it auto selects sometimes, but then it's like if you want to change it, you have to find it. There's no presets or anything. It's between 3 different parts of your car. I like the pre-designed looks of the cars better, like in Mario Kart World or previous Mario Kart games before 7. But I understand why people will enjoy it. It's a cool system and concept. I just think it's not done to the best. Now, why I like Crossworlds' version better is because you can't fully get rid of every part of the car. The cars, there's 5 different versions of a car, and each version has different. You can change the front, the back, and the tires. And now this sounds almost exactly the same as Mario Kart. It's just not the glider, it's just the back of the car. But I feel like because there's the different molds of the car, you don't have to. You still have the basic shape of the car. They all look good, and you can change the colors of it. So I think it helps with any sizing differences. It helps make the car look better. So there's that, and also because I think with the way I personally felt more of a difference when I was changing gadgets around than when I changed a Mario Kart 8 car. So that's where I'll get into the gadgets. I like how the gadgets incentivize your different play styles of the game. You have the ones that give you more items. You have the ones that increase your stats, change your drift level, do air tricks faster. It all incentivizes how you want to play the game, and the way you can do it is the way you put in the gadgets is really fast. In Mario Kart 8, sometimes it felt like it would take a bit for everyone to figure out what they want to run, which would just I want to get into the races already, come on. And in Crossworlds, had to have presets for all the gadgets and all the cars that you want to customize, along with just having just the basic one, so you can just select that if you want. That's what I like about it. Again, not to say Mario Kart 8 and 7's customization is bad. I do enjoy it to some extent. It's just sometimes I just want to get into a race with a pre-designed car that looks nice, which sounds incongruent with how Crossworlds does it, but there's the customization makes it look good, in my opinion, compared to how 8 can make your car look like an abomination, which could be fun. It's just not my personal thing. But I get gadgets. This is where the whole defense thing comes into play, where I was talking about earlier with how the items, there's some gadgets that, again, like I said, let you slow down less. There's other gadgets where the one I was talking about, the drift. Level 4 drift makes you invincible for a second, so if it might be really useful to block items, that's something I enjoyed, although I didn't really use it. The monster truck gadget, of course, absolute mayhem. Oh my god, is that thing a menace. You just activate it straight at the beginning of a race. So I think the gadget system overall is really fun. And the fact is that you can kind of switch easily. Now there's a lot, so it can take a bit, but because you can fiddle around with it in the lobbies, you're not incentivized to just have to spend 5 minutes on the main menu trying to figure it out when you can just kind of quickly switch it out before a race. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I'm hopeful this game leads to a Riders 4. I know it's this isn't really the Extreme Gear don't play like Riders, which I'm fine with. If they played like Riders, they'd either be completely busted or they wouldn't work at all. So I'm fine with it. This is a kart racer, so they can't really play like Riders, but I'm really hoping that Sega sees the love people have for the Babylon Rogues and the Extreme Gear and actually makes a Riders 4, because Free Riders, that did not deserve to kill off the Riders series. It's such an awful game. I haven't beaten it, but I've beaten Team Sonic's story, That game is just exhausting mentally and physically. It's not fun. There is no fun to be had in that game. Maybe if I try the controller mod, I might change my mind, but that's not how the game is meant to be played, so that won't like factor into my actual opinion of the game. I don't know, I'm just really excited for Crossworlds. The only complaint I can see with this is that the single player content might be like, because there seems to be the race park, the 7 Grand Prix time trials, and I'm not sure what else. Now, I'm not saying that a story mode would change that much, because Sonic Racing story modes are never that long, especially Riders 1. That one's not long at all. So, I don't know, that's my only concern for the game, is that once the multiplayer starts dying down, or for people who just don't like doing multiplayer, that if the single player has enough content for them. Otherwise, no, I had a lot of fun playing the open network test. I already pre-ordered my copy of it, the deluxe edition on Planet Play, so I did not get it for $90. That's something I the $70 is a little bit of a hit. Anyway, yeah, I pre-ordered my copy. I'm excited for this. Start playing the game on the 22nd. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say about the Racing Crossworlds open beta. I hope everyone else had at least some fun with it. That's it. Hopefully I have another video ready in the somewhat near future. Play Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That's a good game. Anyway, see ya.